back, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Maintenance Monday, and today we're going to show you how to fix a flat tire.
Change a flat.
Because the side of the trail is no place to figure that out. Let's get started.
All right, let's get started. High five. Yeah.
Alright, so you're out on the trail and you get a flat. First thing to do, jump off the bike, and you want to shift it down into the smallest ring in the back, which is actually the hardest gear. So you want it in that small ring because it makes it easier to get the wheel on and off.
All right, in the smallest gear.
Okay, so the next thing you want to do is take the rear wheel off. So you'll get out your multi-tool.
Got it.
All right. I'll show you how I like to stand behind the bike. Whenever I'm taking the wheel off, I like to stand here like this and then use my multi-tool and take the wheel off. So this keeps the bike steady and, you know, yeah. So this is where I like to stand.
Okay.
So right now she's taking off the rear axle.
All right, it's off. What do I do now?
Just put it down. Okay, and then on the SRAM derailleurs, they have a locking mechanism, which is right here. So you want to pull the back of the cage down, and then put more, like all the way, and then you want to push that locking mechanism in, and it keeps the chain loose. See how the chain's just dangling there? Okay, and now you can just pick the bike up. So now you just want to pick the frame up and like drop the wheel out. There you go. You want to lay it down on the non-drive side so that the rear derailleur doesn't touch the ground and get bent. Now another option is flipping it upside down on its handlebars in its seat, but it almost, for me, it always falls over. So I always just lay it down like this on the non-drive side. And then the next thing you want to do is break the bead, which that means separate the tire from the rim, and just do it on one side, but all the way around.
And you can tell ours were tubeless, so you can see our nice kind of sticky stuff we use. What's it called?
Yeah, the Stan's fluid.
Stan's fluid.
They're pretty dry right now.
That's why. It's coming off pretty easy. There you go.
Yeah. All right, and so now get your tire irons out.
Okay.
You're going to want to put it under the tube.
Under the tube.
Yeah, and you just want to make sure that you only get one side of the tire under the tire iron.
So Chris likes to only use one, but I prefer two, even though I always knock it off. So got one side off.
So now if you have Stan's fluid in there, which we don't because they're all dried up, so they're all dried up because I haven't changed it in a while. But if you have Stan's fluid in there, you just want to dump it out. If you have a tube in there, you want to remove the tube. Okay, and then also since we are set up tubeless, we have to remove this tubeless valve stem. And you don't want to lose that because they're kind of expensive, so you just want to make sure you put it and the valve core back together and then stick them in your pocket or in your saddlebag.
Well, how do you get the darn thing out?
Use the tire iron and push it up like this using both hands. There you go. That one was in there good. Alright.
Alright, got that out. So I'm putting the screw back on.
Yep, and then you want to screw the valve core back in there so you don't lose that.
Ta-da!
Okay.
Okay, what's next?
Now.
Ta-da!
and then a tube just magically appears, and you want to put just enough air in it with your air pump or your CO2 to help it to hold its shape as you install it. All right, so that's enough air. So then just close the valve stem again. And now what you want to do is you want to check inside the tire. You just lay the tube down. You want to check inside the tire and make sure that there's no like thorns or anything. You want to run your hand along the inside. That's how you want to do it. You want to get Stan's fluid all over your hands is what you want to do.
We're going to act like I did that.
Okay, so
Did
point is you want to check for any debris inside the tire that caused the original flat. Next step, once you determine there's nothing in there, is you want to put the tube in.
So stick the valve stem in the hole. It's so messy. Got it.
All right, now I'm going to show you how I'm going to hold the tire, and I'm actually going to show you how I like to work it on. I find it to be pretty quick, so you want to just try and work it on with your hands as much as you can before you even grab your tire irons. So there, now you hold it in place with one hand, and then you grab your tire iron and you just pull the tire iron to you like so, and that'll just pop it on real fast. So yeah, that's how I like to do it.
Okay.
So there you go. Now you can try.
Because I have really long monkey arms too.
Oh yeah, I guess if your arms are short, it might be a little harder, but you're doing good. So you want to make sure you're holding it on with one thumb. You got to hold it right where it's.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose anything that you just worked for.
So does the turn part
go? And
go?
then the tire iron, you put it on the opposite way. You want it to grab
This way?
yes. You want it to grab the rim.
Okay. So you know what I find easier. Is to push down.
You notice right now how it's really tight. You see how it's straight across here? So the tire is super tight. It's because it's beating on the other half of the wheel. The tire's setting. So you want to make sure that the bead is popped. There you go. Now it'll loosen it up a bit. See, it's a lot more wiggle room there.
Can you tell I struggle with this part? So I like to work away from myself to give me that leverage. I'm not good at pulling. All right. Well, it's on there.
Okay. So yeah, now it's all on. Now you want to get the little nut that goes on the valve stem. You always want to make sure you install this nut before you start pumping, because it's possible to lose that valve stem in the tire. And it's also possible to rip the valve stem. So
Okay, it's on.
okay. So I'm going to show you how I like to do it so that you don't break the valve stem. You want to support the valve stem and the pump at the same time by just supporting it somehow with your hand while you're pumping. You can brace on the rim itself, and it makes it so that the valve stem does not bend back and forth every time you pump. And it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing, but the point is you're just trying to brace the valve stem and not allow it to move while you're pumping. So yeah, that's how I do it. So here you go.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
This looks terrible.
Okay, it looks bad. It looks bad, but that's okay. Yep, that's good.
All right. Do you check the beading?
Yeah, so once you get it all inflated, you want to look all the way around the bead and make sure that the tire is seated all the way around. And then once you determine that it is, you also want to screw in the close the valve stem. And then now it's time to reinstall the wheel on the bike. So we'll go grab that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll show you how I like to do it. I'll just do a demonstration. You just slide it in place, roughly in place. Pull the derailleur back, and then you just sit the bike back down on the wheel, making sure that the brake rotor slides into the brakes.
All right, take it off, my turn. All right, let's give it another go.
Your whole point is you're trying to put the cassette right here.
So I understand how you're going to be able to pull this thing back and set the wheel on it. Short problems.
There you go, and you just want to make sure that the brake goes in. And then see the chain right here, how it's just snagging a little bit. You just want to pull it out so it's not snagging on anything.
Okay.
Okay, so then next you just want to put the rear axle in. All right.
I assume I gotta unlock the, what do you call it, derailleur?
Yeah, so and the way that you unlock it is you just push it forward. There you go, and let go. There you go.
Well, that sounded like I broke it. That's kind of scary. Okay.
All right, well, you just changed your tire. You just put a tube in.
All right, let's fix it. Okay.
Right.
Sweet.
And then ideally you would want to shift into an easier gear before you take off to ride again. Just lessons learned.
Thanks guys for joining us today. I hope you learned how to change a flat. Obviously I don't do it very often, but I'm working on it. Thanks guys for joining us. I hope that helped. We'll see you next Monday. I'm going to wash my hands. Look how gross they are. Ew.